Alright, hello, I'm King Koopa. This is my birthday episode. Alright, welcome back. So, I don't know how long Season 5 will continue. I don't know, I guess till we get out of the void. We're currently lost in the void, if you saw the title card. Anywho, as you can clearly see, what we have here is The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The ballad of a movie with a title that's too dang long. Now, this movie is directed by a guy named Francis Lawrence. Here's a picture of him right here. There it is. That's him in 2015. See, this guy, he directed the 2005 movie Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves. But he also directed I Am Legend, the one starring Will Smith. Not the Omega Man. I don't even think he was born then yet. Well, no, he was born in 71. But he was like 7. He's not going to direct a Charlton Heston movie at 7 years old. What are you talking about? That's crazy. Anywho, he directed Hunger Games 2, 3, and 4, and he's also directing the next one. But is a secret, and you can't tell anybody, okay? It's a secret. He also directed The Long Walk. As you can see here on the cover, this guy with the blonde wig. Those are actually his blue eyes, though. His eyes are really, like, super bright blue. It's weird. His name is Tom Blyth, and he is the Snowman. He plays a character named Snowman. I don't know if that's right. It's close enough, okay? If you've seen the other movies, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. The Snowman portrayed by Donald Sutherland in the other movies, and in the upcoming movie, which apparently takes place 40 years after this movie. Why do that? Why would you do that? You don't have to do that. Grrr. Well, this is a prequel movie about the Snowman, okay? And then, as you can clearly see on his right and your left, but also my left, I guess. But when I'm this way, it's my right. What are we talking about? This is Rachel Zegler. I have it in the script outline over here. It says Zeglord. I don't know why I wrote that. I don't know. It's fine, though, really. It's fine, Slimer. She plays a character called Lucy Gray, like they say Lucy Gray, like it's, like Mary Beth, but like Lucy Gray. Lucy Gray Baird. Like bird, but with an A. Or bard with an I. Or word, if you spell it fully incorrectly. They're the two main characters, right? They're the protagonists, but there isn't really any good guys, except for, like, Lucy Gray. She does her best. In a bad situation, the villain is... Well, you see, there's not really a villain in this movie, and I feel like that's what holds it back the most, is the fact there's no clear villain. The main antagonist, I guess, would be Peter Dinklage playing a character called Dean Casca Hightower. That's a weird name. They got weird names in these movies. It's like Katniss Everdeen. It's pretty weird. And he is a ninja. He is like, he's like the second in command. Hey, be quiet over there. But like we'll get to it when we talk about the plot in a minute. Viola Davis, an absolute legend of an actor. She plays... I don't remember. I'll put the name on the screen, though, so you can see her character's name. Is also quite bizarre. But she is a chaotic evil character, but also, like, not necessarily a main antagonist, but she is antagonistic, but also a mentor. So it's difficult to define. Now, in the script, I wrote Stanley Tucci playing himself, but really, that's inaccurate, and I had to double check because I couldn't believe it. It's Jason Schwartzman doing a pitch-perfect impression of Stanley Tucci as himself. I was impressed. His character's named Lucky something or other. He says it a million times, that's why I remember that. And the movie is set 10 years after the events of a war which caused a lot of deprivation and problems, but eventually the capital won over the districts surrounding it. Maybe because they had all the equipment and stuff at the capital that came from the different districts. I don't know, that's just theory. You guys cheated. Hello, I'm King Koopa. And we're back with another movie review. Well, you saw the thumbnail when you clicked it yet. The movie is Halloween 2. I don't dive much into the making of when it comes to movies or series I cover, but I found a bit of trivia about Halloween 2 interesting, so I'd like to share it with you. The mask looks really gross. See, it's literally the same mask as the first movie, but as this was filmed 3 years later than the original, the mask set folded underneath producer Deborah Hill's bed, who was a heavy chain smoker. I like how the mask looks in this movie. I rank this mask second behind the mask worn in Part 6, Curse of Michael Myers. Alright, welcome back. The plot to this movie is basically Snowman here. His father worked with Casca Hightower, and they came up with the Hunger Games, but his father passed away, and then they, in some unexplained, or maybe I got bored when they were over-explaining, because that happens a lot in this super long movie. He lost access to his family's fortune, which was depleted to nothing. And the only way he was going to elevate his status back to being the head snowman, because, you know, they use little puns like this in the movie. He says, snow always falls on top, and I like that. I think that was pretty good. Little wordplay. Now, he's like a mentor. Like, in the first movie, we got Haymitch Abernathy, that guy with the cool name, played by Woody Harrelson. He's like the mentor for Katniss, right? But in this movie, Snowman here, he is the mentor for Lucy Gray. And he sees her as the only way to restore his family's honor and receive a prize known as the Plinth Award, which would grant him endless amounts of wealth, which I believe was confiscated by the president of Panem, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like a word for bread. Yeah, bread. I don't like bread. I like M&Ms. Specifically M&M's minis, okay? But Lucy Gray, she gets captured, whatever, tribute from District 12, the coal district. Then on the train ride from District 12 to the capital, her co-tribute gets bit by a bat on the neck, and he starts to get rabies. It's pretty rough. It's pretty gross, too. It's pretty gross. Seems like Lucy Gray and Snowman have like a romance or something, but it's not really fleshed out that well. And to be honest, it doesn't really go anywhere either. A couple of things to note: the world building. Okay, the world building in this movie is pretty good, but honestly, sometimes the effects, they're not very good. In fact, they look freaking terrible, if I'm going to be fully honest with you. Now, this doesn't really affect my liking of a movie. It can't, because I like Hellraiser 3. In that movie... Yeah, we're not talking about Hellraiser 3, okay? Let's lock in. Get out of here, Slimer! What are you doing? So, during the games, Snowman decides to cheat because he wants to win, and he sees, you know, like, she's a small, tiny woman, like... And there's like full-grown, well, like 17, 18-year-old teenage boys in there. You know, like basically the size of grown men. And they could body this tiny woman. And that's a problem. That's a problem that Snowman decides to overcome with giving her, well, it's like this compact thing with a mirror in it. But he put like this poison powder in it. And it is super effective. Yes, one of the few times a poison move is effective, and she uses it to great effect. Viola Davis's character, since I didn't remember it earlier, I still don't remember it now, and I'll have the name up on the screen again. She drops in a bunch of these snakes, which were plot relevant earlier, which I didn't mention because Snowman went with an additional mentor, like his co-mentor for District 12. There's like two mentors for each district, because each district has to send 2 tributes. His co-mentor tried to take credit for something he wrote. Viola Davis's character, she didn't like that, and she called a bluff. And these snakes apparently don't bite people, that they smell your sweat or something, and I guess these are gross snakes. And then real quick, Snowman, he puts her tissue, or like, he puts her handkerchief in the snake tank thing, and the snakes smell it, I guess. And they don't bite her, but they kill everybody else in the game, so she wins, because she outlives. The movie shifts to something else, where they find out that Snowman cheated, and then he gets kicked out of the Capitol, and he gets sent to District 12. Lucy Gray gets sent back to District 12. They have to have a winner, otherwise people were revolting in or something. I don't know. He has to become like a peacekeeper guard, like a police guy in District 12, and then he basically snitches out his buddy for trying to help the rebels against the peacekeepers and the Capitol, because also his buddy is like the active president of the Capitol's son. His name is Sejanus, like the Roman emperor guy, because again, everybody has a super weird name in this movie. I'm looking at you, Snowman. Yeah. Well, he tries to escape with Lucy Gray after he snitches out his buddy, because he ultimately decides he doesn't want to go back. But then Lucy Gray, she suspects that he was a snitch, and, she don't really like snitches like that. Like, she's not really into the snitch lifestyle, because she's not really about it. She's not from the Capitol, you see. In the Capitol, they're on full snitch mode at all times. And also, look at him. He was always going to call the manager. Well, Lucy Gray escapes north. To the best of what I saw, it looked like she escaped. I'm going to assume she escaped. It looked like, it looked like he plugged her, but I couldn't tell. He had a gun and he shot at her, and maybe she just made a gasp noise when the bullet hit the tree next to her or something. But, like, she disappeared like Michael Myers. Like, she teleported away. And then dude got to go back to the Capitol for uncovering the rebel plot in District 12. And for this, he also won the Plinth Prize. It was like, it looked super good for him, and then it looked super bad for Casca Hightower, because, bruh, you were wrong, and you lost. Then we got Snowman walking out, and honestly, it's the worst looking shot of the movie, and it closes out the movie, and it looks really bad. All right. Well, happy birthday, King Koopa. I'm 339 years old today. Can you believe that? Holy cow, I'm old. Oh! Remember, Koopas, be kind to people you have no reason to be kind to. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I want you to have a nice day. Oh.